Arcane Season 1, Episode 5 is here. Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist, and the journey continues. Join us over on Patreon if you have not gotten there yet. A lot of people have joined the family of Arcane. We have full, unedited reactions to each episode over on Patreon. If you want the edited version, a shortened version, it's a little less than half. Go to YouTube. It will come out later, but the Patreon reactions come out immediately after I do this. There are no edits. There are no cuts. It's just put out as it is. And I've already messed something up, so it will go on there too. Don't forget, Patreon VIP tier is where Arcane, the entire Season 1, Season 2, all of it one at a time. Today is Episode 5. I can't wait for it. And for those of you who just want to comment, leave me love, leave me hate, or anything in between, that is the place to go. You could do it here as well. But look, that's what I'm here for as a mental health professional. Not to get it perfect. Hey, I'm learning from you, and I'm okay with that. I can take good, constructive feedback. Just, leave the hate on somebody else's doorstep if you don't mind. But I'm learning a lot. If you go to Patreon, you're going to see. And by the way, I created a new chat room in Patreon for Arcane only for us to chat about the series, and I cannot wait to see what happens here. Look, I figured it out. I'm learning as I go. Powder did not see Vi on that ship. She imagined it, and that's part of the PTSD, right? She thought it was her because of an instant reaction of what this other person looked like. Then she realized it wasn't her. Long story short, end of the episode, Vi was there in prison when Kate went to see her there. So, and to see who was that beat up that dude. And I can't believe Vi beat up that huge dude like that. So I'm about to see what is going to happen here. And also, I'm putting the pieces together on the rest of the puzzle as well. I don't know everything, but that's what I'm here for. If I knew everything, this would be totally lame. Without further ado. Can we not waste our time? Can we just get on with episode 5, please? Arcane. Spread some mental health. Have some fun. I'm bringing my A game. I'm not going to have anybody that questions anything. No, just kidding. I'm going to need a lot of help with this. Oh, boy. Practice. Man, that's good. Who was that though? That showed somebody. What is that symbol? Is this Kate? Is this Caitlin? That's with the police force that's out training, that's trying to become more and more and more. This must be what it is. That's what it is. It's got to be. Look, come for me all you want. And this is the problem on YouTube, right? So Nick splices these hour-long episodes down to 25 minutes or something, and people just see bits and pieces of it. They don't get to see the whole process when you're talking it through. I think now, looking at it, that doesn't look like Jinx to me. It looks like it would be Caitlin. And she's competing with this other guy for some kind of spot or competition. Tell me if I'm wrong. But again, this probably won't get on YouTube. And they're going to say, what a dumb... He didn't know anything. That symbol is part of the... that looked like... originally, that looked like the lady, the cop that was killed. That looked like the cop that was killed... by Silco. Didn't it look like the cop that... See it from my eyes. I want people to see a little bit from my eyes. Look, 55-year-old dude. I'm a therapist for a living. I go to work every day. I see clients all the time. Like I am full. I am busy. I do this twice a week. I get to watch, fortunate enough to get to watch an episode of Arcane, which is amazing. The place they live, Piltover. So is that the symbol for Piltover? Didn't that look like the cop lady? Y'all, come on. Even if it's not, just could it? Well done, Caitlin. That's mom, right? She won. I love it. Way to go, Caitlin.
That was quite some shooting, Kerman.
Did my parents pay you to let me win?
That's a serious accusation.
It is the lady. Is this a flashback? This is the lady that's the cop that was killed by Silco. So I wonder if this is a flashback to Caitlin when she was learning how to be on the police force and then got on the police force, and her mom was wanting to put her in that position. And this was that really cool officer, and I'm so sad she was killed that day. And she's like, did my mom set you up to this so you would lose to me on purpose?
No, your parents didn't pay me. I just thought you deserved it.
Yeah, that's so good. Proud of you.
I'm an enforcer. For me, knowing how to handle this weapon means being able to protect people.
Y'all think about that too in life. What are you shooting for? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing your job? Why are you doing your relationship? Why are you doing your family? Why are you doing what you're doing? And it really is important for me as a husband, as a father, in my faith, with the work I do every day. Why am I doing it? To be intentional of, let me really be clear what my purpose is in life, so that all of life doesn't have to be serious, but it really helps when it's intentional. It's the key. There she is.
My sunny personality.
You attacked an inmate. Why?
Why not?
He was a witness in an ongoing investigation.
Bummer. Hey, give Silko a kiss on that winning eye of his, will you?
Ooh.
This is getting old. Can you just send in whoever's gonna kick the shit out of me so I can get on with mine?
This is great. It's like, I can take whatever you bring my way. Just bring them in and let them come to me. But she did send that message, Silko. Like, she gave a little hint so Caitlin could hear. Silko's the one you want to look at.
Does
Cross
this
the
mean
line.
anything to you?
Oh, wow.
Where did you get this?
Work for Silko?
They all do. How can anyone not know that? Where did you find this?
There was an
Triggered.
attack. This is evidence. In what mad world would I trust someone like you?
Someone like me? You enforcers are all the same. Just
No kidding. Here you go. How hypocritical, correct? You're like, trust someone like me? Look at you, all of y'all enforcers. Now, she doesn't know, I guess, that Caitlin is kind of not the same type of person. I feel like she wants good and she wants to do the right thing and she wants to branch out and become more. That's why she's investigating here, probably where she shouldn't, honestly. But when Vi sees that book, immediately triggers her to powder and to think, ooh, because at this point, I'm guessing she doesn't even know her name is Jinx now. And I'm wondering if Jinx, she named herself Jinx for two reasons. Number one, out of spite towards Vi, because that's the last thing she said to her. Number two, out of connection to Vi. But she sees that book and man, you see the drawings, it immediately brings her back to her little sister. Like, so this is memories and she wants to know. And probably at this point wants to know, is she alive? Did something happen to her? Where is she? Who's she with? That kind of thing. Because these are all questions with Vi. I'm sure she has no idea at this point where her sister is.
find Silko yourself.
I will, thank you.
Undercity's gonna eat you alive.
She keeps baiting her.
Not cooperative, huh? You want us to have a chat with her?
No,
Oh.
it's for her release.
Oh, she's going to
Since
do
when's
it.
he a
How many?
Did she really get authorization from was this from Jace to do this, or is she like forging it? Terrible. The sigh.
These brave enforcers sacrificed their lives to defend the values of our great city. They are heroes.
Who was this, Daddy?
A good woman.
You said you could control her.
So that was the officer. And that's the other guy, right? That was with her and his daughter.
I lost 6 officers.
Oh. So it's like, to me, I feel like what happened, tell me if I'm wrong, is that this officer who was with her at the time and he kind of brokered this deal with Silko to kind of hand over Vander, and then Silco ends up killing that lady officer, which he didn't expect, and I think he bit off more than he can chew and didn't realize you're dealing with like the mob here. Like this is like a bad news, and so Silco's going to do whatever he wants to do. It ends up doing that, but then he ends up on Silco's side. If it's the same guy, it's like he went from being an officer into now being with Silco, but he still has that uniform on. So it's the same uniform. So maybe he still works for the police force, but he's kind of behind the scenes under the table working with Silco. And I also thought he was the one that took Vi, that put the thing over her mouth that made her pass out and took her away. I feel like he was the one that took her away and put her in prison. So I'm wondering if he still works for the police force, but he's talking with Silco and he's in cahoots with Silco, which is not a good thing to me anyway. Is that what's happening? He's like a good guy. I've been thinking he's a bad guy, but he seems like a good guy now.
I lost 6 officers. 6!
Okay, that's what it is then. He's still with the police force, and he lost those officers because I think of Jinx and what she just did. I'm pretty sure. So something's going down where he's like, look, I'm trying to work with you here, but it ain't working.
She pushed it too far this time. The council's up in arms. I can't make this go away for you unless you give me something to work with. Arresting her would be doing you a favor.
I don't need favors. I need you to do your job.
Yeah. This is the problem. Corrupt police officer, right? This is like our society. Corrupt police officers, not all corrupt, but once you get tied in with somebody and, you're now stuck. He's in a position where he's, I need you to do your job, which basically means Silco is in charge of things here. He's the one who's going to dictate the orders, and he's the one that's going to tell him what he's supposed to do. And he's not going to let Jinx get arrested for sure, because I think it's kind of his protege at this point. And they've got this, I feel like it's an enmeshed relationship. I know a lot of people have said, no, it's a good relationship and it kind of meets both people's needs. It's super codependent. It seems a little awkward to me and odd. Silco to me is just one of those slippery characters. Now, maybe things change in the end, but I feel like all of his hurt, pain, abandonment, mistreatment, even the stuff with Vander, he talked about we were brothers and we were in this together and then you did this to me. All of that built up into rage, and now he's bent on being a guy who has ultimate power and authority, maybe because he wants to do something good eventually, but right now it doesn't seem like it.
The firelights have been a thorn in both our sides. They ambushed my shipment at the Hex Gates on the same day as the attack.
Oh, that's tidy for you. What if I'm not interested in playing along?
We've accomplished a lot together, Marcus. Sheriff, I hope you can remain a part of it.
In other words, I wonder if Silco went into that knowing, going way back, that female officer who was the sheriff at the time was not going to be somebody that would work with him, was not going to be somebody who he could manipulate. And in turn, he realized this guy is hungry. This guy wants power. This guy he's pushing the envelope. This guy I could probably groom and manipulate and get power over. So if I take her out, then I can tell him, look, because of this situation, however tragic it might be, you are now elevated to the sheriff position. So that's great for you and your power and authority. And it's great for us. See? It says we can work together now, but you'll have to follow my lead and follow my direction. This could have been a plan all along with him. There we go,
For
the money.
Families. From
Judas.
Concerned citizen.
Judas, I don't like this. And now he can't get out of it. He can't do anything. He's stuck.
Yesterday's smuggling fiasco was nothing. These manifests are full of discrepancies dating back months.
This is a poor use of our time.
I'm a counselor now, Victor. It's my responsibility to make...
I really like these two, Victor and Jace. And Victor, to me, is kind of the stabilizer and the balancer. He's grown up so underprivileged and, grown up being seen as a disadvantaged person. And he's got a great mind and great ability and great insight and foresight. now Jace has come in, is on the council. It's like this position. And I feel like he has a little bit more political motives, which means I want to be able to balance both sides and make the right decision here, but you can't please everybody. When you're on a council, when you're on a board like that, you can't please everybody. You're going to have to take sides. And I think what Victor's saying is, I don't want you to lose who you were. I don't want you to lose your position and your dream and your goal and your passion on trying to make the world a better place and use this for good instead of using it for political motives.
What about our pledge to improve lives for those in need? For the Undercity? Soon, there are people who need our help now,
right.
Jace.
You wanted to see me?
Have your people ever reviewed these logs?
Mr. Tallis, I assure you.
Counselor. And the only issue...
Oh, wow. He's strong with that too, Jace. I really like him. I like Jason Victor a ton. But he put this officer in his place right here. And the officer, sheriff, whoever, at this point, Marcus, is playing both sides. And I love how they're putting this into the show and being able to see him in both settings, because he's acting one way with one way with another. And I think he's going to end up getting himself caught here, where you can't keep doing this forever. You're going to have to pick sides too.
Today's your first day.
Second.
Ah.
Right. You sure you don't want to confer with the other counselors before?
This corruption runs deep, Sheriff. I intend to root it out. Have you made any progress with the stolen gemstone?
Oh, he can't.
Yes.
Oh,
Chief suspect is an Undercity gang.
oh no. Poor Victor.
Victor, you all right?
I need to get to the lab.
It was taking him in. I wonder if it was working some kind of magic. There's blood everywhere.
Here we go. It's all about these rooms. They form some kind of mathy, magic-y gateway.
Now, all of these creations of these pipe bombs, so to speak, that she's created are actual, probably almost characters in her life, where they're friends of hers, like they're things she talks to, because she's down there just all by herself, probably having to hide out. And she spent so much time creating them. Why not have a conversation with them? And she's talking her thoughts through with them.
So, here goes.
Oh, unless she's talking to everybody else there. Who was that? Who was the other person there? Whoa. Oh my gosh. It's like she had a flashback to that moment when that thing blew up and blew all of her friends up and family. And so much PTSD with Jinx at this point, where there are triggers from things she sees, triggers from things she feels, triggers from things she experiences. She's just got them coming out from all over the place, and it's never dealt with, never treated, obviously. There's no therapy in the underworld there, or period. And she doesn't know what to do with them. And so I'm sure it mixes up her brain so much of the time. Look at this, how it just flashes back to everything.
No, it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Back in that memory. Back in that memory, and that's what happens with PTSD. That's why we do so much work with EMDR with clients, to kind of desensitize the brain to the intensity of the trauma. So when we hear something, see something, smell something, touch something, taste something, whatever the sense is that brings us back into a memory of something, as if we're really back in that memory, then our brain is kind of stuck. We're stuck in the brainstem, in the core at the very beginning development of the brain, and it works its way to the cortex, but it can't get there because it's stuck. Like, this is reality now. I'm actually back where I was, and she's talking as if she was there again and can't get out of it, and it's hard for her to get. So I always tell people, when you're stuck in a memory like that, get to a new place, get to a new situation, get into a new conversation with somebody, listen to some kind of music that actually is inspiring and hopeful. Do something to get you out of the situation that you're in, so you can kind of reorient to the world and see where you are. But EMDR, super helpful. Bilateral stimulation paired with a memory that was troubling, and it helps the brain desensitize through the bilateral tapping of the brain, helps the brain desensitize and not feel it so intensely. Memory is still there, but you just aren't as tied to it because the brain has kind of relived it over and over again and processed its way through it to where it's not as intense and not as realistic feeling. What is going on now? All cleaned up.
I heard the bathysphere has a nice view. To get a lay of the land.
Too risky.
What?
Oh, Vi, you just never know, do you? How do you follow that? Caitlin's tough. She's gonna try. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at that lady was on the wall. Oh, she's looking down. Memories. There we go. Back into the dredges of society.
Nice jacket. Welcome to the lanes.
Oh, she just took them both out. And I got some clothes now. Like a Rubik's Cube.
You had a vision? What if we've been looking at it backwards? Mages aren't bound to single functions. It said the Arcane speaks through them.
Wow.
Are you sure this is safe? Of course not.
Jericho, have I missed these?
Oh. Gave her a clue?
Your house is in trouble. That merchant formerly enjoyed certain leniencies with regard to her trade in exchange for her generous academy patronage.
By leniencies, you mean corruption.
So corrupt. Everything's so corrupt and political, especially on a council. You know, everybody's like, it's just like politics, man. This is so true to the world where everybody can be bought off. And, you know, Jace is so new to this. Like, it's not something that he would envision or see or even think of. And this lady is I feel like, super wise and able to guide and steer him and help him. Maybe she sees him as a future leader there.
Technically an illegal import.
I tightened our security.
And in so doing, put a target on your back.
Ah, so he tightened security because it's like, we don't want corruption. We don't want this illegal import stuff coming in. He went and did the right thing by putting restrictions and security on imports. And then he puts a target on his back. And he didn't even realize it. Wow. Oh my gosh. So this is back where she came from then, is what it is. This is all the way back to where she came from. And she's reliving all of the past memories of where they've lived, where they've trained, where they've spent days and nights together. All of them. And she's remembering sounds of what people said. She's remembering visions of what they did. It's like her adult body is walking through all of the past memories of what happens. This happens with trauma, okay? Just like I said, when you go back through something, it's like having a bunch of trauma happen in a home and you go back to that home years later and all of a sudden everything comes back. And it's like I said, it goes from the brainstem all the way up to the cortex and it makes a traveling sometimes very quickly for people. Like I could go into this place and I would just be looking at all the drawings and the destruction and things and be like, wow, this is a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff happened here. But it wouldn't be affecting me the way it is her because she was there when it happened. But she's putting this thing back where it was to start practicing the fighting things the way Vi did it, where she watched and learned from Vi. I mean, so interesting here. Here's it all. Oh boy. Oh man. Gave it all she had. And then, still second. Not quite to Vi. This goes right back to where she all started and that last memory of Vi punching her out of a reaction. I know Vi loves her. I know that. I don't think Vi hates her and never wants to be around her again. I think at the moment Vi reacted, but she was intentionally meaning that in the moment. You're a jinx. That's why I can't stand you. So get away from me and be careful. I've talked to a lot of people in life, y'all, who have had encounters like that, and then the other person does die, or the other person does go away and they never see them again. They live with that memory the rest of their lives. That's why I always tell people in Vi's position, be very careful with what you say and do, because it can have lifelong lasting impacts with that. And I know Vi loves her. I don't think Jinx here knows Vi loves her, because I don't think Jinx has any memory other than the fact that my sister just punched me and walked off and left me, abandoned me. She doesn't know any of the other story at this point, I don't think. At least I haven't seen anything here that says that. She knows her sister abandoned her, hates her, and thinks she's terrible and she's a jinx and she'll never be anything. And so she constantly is trying to live to prove that wrong. And here, all the intensity. That's why I say with any kind of trauma that comes out, talk it out, write it out, act it out, scream it out, yell it out, sing it out, whatever you got to do that's in your body. And for her, it's like, punch it out, man. Get it out of your system. It doesn't mean it goes away, but you don't want that to fester because it can really go the wrong way inwards. But look at how she's still psyched. They're going back? Oh, Vi.
Well, that place does look like it has bodies buried in the basement.
That's really rough. Oh.
You don't know anything.
Oh, all the trauma. And Caitlin doesn't know. She doesn't know all the history with this. And Vi's reliving the trauma. This is where this was my life. This is where my person was in Vander. This is where my family was. This is where my sister was. This is where I became who I am. And now I see it completely changed and different. Number one, totally different than it was because Vander's not there anymore to kind of keep control of everything and balance everybody. But number two, because this is no longer my place. And Caitlin makes that remark, not intentionally, but I'm sure it's very insulting. And so Vi's going to feed off it.
You can't compromise the safety of the hex gates for collateral.
No one's asking you to. These are simply favors amongst friends.
Push this on me.
Yep.
You're a symbol of the future now,
You
Jace,
took it,
whether
though.
you
You
like it or
accepted
not.
it.
With that comes the potential to shape your own destiny. Jace had to make a show of safety, but he's here now to negotiate all his deals personally. Councillor Tallis is willing to reinstate former trade privileges to those who share his vision. With us, you'd be investing in the future.
The team here. So she's got a
Councillor
stake in
Madara's
this
right.
too.
The hex gates are only the beginning. In fact, we're currently looking for new partners in our hex tech research.
How exactly do you propose we go about this?
Let him think you work here.
Excuse me? I will not.
Expect everyone to give you what you want.
Yes,
If you
boy.
really want people to talk to you, you have to let them think you have what they want.
Vi,
And
so
what
good.
do I have?
You're hot, Cupcake. So what'll it be?
I just completely threw her off here. You're hot. You know that. You just don't act like that. But let me show you. And she gets right up in her face like, I'll make you uncomfortable for a moment. Use that in your favor, she says. Now, I'm not telling everybody out there to do that. If you're hot, I don't have to worry about that myself. But if you're hot, don't use that as a manipulation. But maybe you could use it to sway benefits, not in an inappropriate way or an illegal way, but in a nice way to have people help you.
Hi, I'm Pam. What's your name?
Matilda. But you can call her whatever you want.
The Hextech Wonder Boy is on the council now, and he's asking questions. It's only a matter of time before he finds the truth.
One final act to make you the martyr you've always seen yourself as. Then what are you waiting for?
He quickly imagined just pulling the grenade, oh my gosh, and blowing both of them up. And like he said, the martyr you've always pictured yourself to be. He's always had this chip on his shoulder, like, I should have more power, I should have more status. And then, he's elevated to that at this point, but now he's caught because he can't be genuinely who he is. See, that's the hard part. He sold his soul. when you sell your soul out like this, for money, for status, for fame, then you're at the mercy of those who own you. And that's the hard part here. Part of him wants to just blow this whole thing up and be done with it, but then that blows him up. So he's got to decide what he's going to do here. And he's playing Silco's game, which totally takes him out of being sheriff, right? Silco's sheriff. Silco's the one running things at this point.
He's faltering. You need to weaponize the Hex Tech soon.
Falling apart.
Once we've
You're
cracked
losing
their
him.
prize, Topside will have no power over us.
Give it to the doctor.
You're the only
So
one I
she's
can
up
trust
there.
with these
She always stays up there.
I keep seeing them. That day.
PTSD.
Fear haunts us all. Child.
Yeah, him too. He keeps seeing that with
Sweetheart,
Vander.
by the looks of it, no one down here lifted a finger to stop Silco.
A few tried.
But Silco's got the muscle and the money.
Have you heard anything
So
about
true.
Powder? I think Silco has her. I have to find her.
Saw him there. That's why she was running back. I did see that. She was running back to save her sister, but sister never do that. And all she imagines is that she's under Silco's power at this point. And it's still Powder.
Silco's number 2's irregular. I can have Miguel tell you where to find her.
I owe you.
You did well today.
I had a good teacher.
Gotta
It's
be
only
careful
a
with
matter of
power,
time
though.
before those old fools on the council officially accept your research.
Can be intoxicating.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, wow. And Victor is going to town. He is a workaholic. Constantly researching.
Are you headed home soon? I thought we could walk together.
Aww.
I'm probably going to sleep here tonight.
He's so focused on it, he can't
You
see.
know, there's always tomorrow.
Doing something, or is it him? It's him. He's getting sicker. Oh man, they're going to town. I did not realize this. And that stuff somehow takes the... Oh boy. Now, does she really mean that? And she really want to be with him? Was she manipulating him into it? He feels like, I don't think he's doing it for manipulation. He feels totally connected to her. What is going on with that? And then the thing took Victor's blood. It's now within the system.
Right. He was like a brother to you.
Why are they in the water?
and
'Cause I
he
thought it was
turned his
poisonous,
back
like
and
it bad.
Blah, blah, blah. Did I miss anything?
She's like, you've told me this story over and over again, and I know she has that attachment to Vander, but her new loyalty is here with Silco. He's kind of the replacement attachment here. Not healthy, not great, especially with his motives. Vander's motives were always pure, but she's probably tired of hearing his stories.
That day, I let a weak man die.
Whoa. So that day with him, he's like, here's the new story. That man that died was me. That was a weak part of me. And now I am not that person. I allowed myself to be taken advantage of and abused and hurt like that by Vander, but I'm never going to let that happen again. Baptism.
That pain that feels like it'll eat you from the inside out.
So I think he's using that in this story as that day I was reborn. I let that go in terms of feeling like I was always defeated and never going to make it and always beat down. And because she told him, sitting up above him, all these old memories are getting me. You might as well give this to somebody else because I can't do it. I get triggered every single time, using my words. I get triggered every single time. And so I'm not able to be the person that I need to be. It's kind of like, don't put me in the game because I'm remembering all the shots I missed. And I lost the game for the team so many times. I can't do it. Don't put me in to have the last shot. And he's going out to teach her a lesson now to say, look, I have the same story. I was defeated. I was no good. I was weak. And the moment I got into that water and was so-called baptized, using almost a biblical type analogy here, I was baptized out of this water. I decided to use it in my favor. I decided to use it as a motivation. I'm no longer filled with the resentment and the hate and the anger and the rage. And also the fear and insecurity. I channel it to use it for my own power and what I want to have happen in life. And I think he's telling her that you can do the same thing. You can take everything you've been through and use it in a powerful way.
You need to let Powder die, so the fear of pain will no longer control you.
That fear and that PTSD is Powder, is what he's saying. The seduction here. That's just, it's just odd to me. A baptism. Poor guy, man.
Jace?
He's so good.
Victor. The doctors, they said you...
How much time do I have?
5. Oh, man. Oh, has the drug in her. Like a regular flow, it's like an IV. He's like, I'll take you with that thing. Come on, come on. Oh. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Smart. Stuff just keeps pumping. Oh man. Weaker. Just like that thing they trained on. Destroy. Wow.
Where's he keeping her?
Keeping her? You mean Jinx? She works for him.
What?
She's like his daughter.
Oh my gosh, stabbed her. Oh no.
I'll give her your regards.
What the heck did she say? She realized now Powder is called Jinx, which I'm sure she flashed back to that memory of calling her that at the end. And then hearing she's like his daughter and stabs Vi, y'all. Oh.
I'll give her your regards.
Oh no. Oh, he shot it. Caitlin. The great Scott. Got rid of the drug.
Why did you let her go?
Do you ever say thank you?
He's gonna know we're here now.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, exactly. Called it right on Vi. Like, that's your fault, man. You're the one who got us into all this stuff. Yeah, he's going to know we're here, but you're the one that started this stuff. I'm the one who just saved your life here by shooting that. That was a great idea. Shoot that thing and it drains all the stuff out and there's no way to get any more. Y'all.
You're an all right shot.
I'm an excellent shot.
Man, excellent.
You gonna help me out, Cupcake?
Cupcake.
Stop calling me that. My name is Caitlin.
Like a cupcake.
Shut up.
I think they're going to be best friends. Oh my goodness. Here's Jinx. A whole new meaning. Jinx is baptized. She is ready to go. She's a new person. She's thinking forward now. This is not great, I don't think, because I think Silco's nothing but bad. That's me. And now she's going to look to use this power in a horrible way, I think.
You're making a mess.
Wow. That stuff works.
She's back.
From the dead.
I think he thought, I'm guessing in the end there, he thought she was dead. And she was gone, which is the bad news. That's what Vi didn't want him to know, so she could sneak up on him and so she could have more power. But now he can prepare for it. But look at that ending. So he imagined her being dead, or at least gone or in prison or just away, taken care of. Nope, not her. He was just figuring they would kill her in prison. This is a build. I did not expect this much intensity with this, but here we go. I love the connection of Vi and Caitlin. I love the relationship with Victor and Jace. I love how Jace is working the system of politics, and I think it's going to motivate him to do more. I'm hopeful of. And goodness, what is going to happen the rest of this first season? I can't wait. This has been quite an ending. Season 1, Episode 5 of Arcane. Don't forget the fully unedited version of all of these episodes is out on Patreon, the VIP tier. You don't want to miss that because it's a way for you to see the fully unedited version, all the behind the scenes, the mess ups I have, all the comments I have that don't always make it to YouTube. Edited version goes to YouTube a few days later. But this one goes out immediately on Patreon as soon as I record it, so you get advanced viewing as well. Join the family over there on Patreon where there's a lot of people talking, and there's even a chat room just for Arcane for you to share your thoughts with other people and myself in there, which is a whole lot of fun. Don't forget, mental health matters. So this is not real therapy, it's just Tom breaking down Arcane. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And look, this has been a blast. I can't wait to see what happens in episode 6. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.